Are you tired of playing by the rules? Tired of doing what you're supposed to when all you really want to do is burn the damn rule book and start fresh? I get it. I've done it more than once. And let me tell you, freedom tastes better than approval ever could. Welcome to Her Gypsy Rebel, the podcast for those who crave more creativity, more space, more of your own damn life on your own terms. I am Jacqueline Van Bierk, aka Pink Star, a musician, artist, traveler, and professional rule breaker, bringing you real, unfiltered conversations about reinvention, confidence, and making space for what actually matters. So grab a coffee, a tea, something a little stronger, because this is where the rebellion begins. Hello, beautiful beings, and welcome back to Her Gypsy Rebel podcast with your host, Jacqueline Van Bierk, another solo episode. And I wanted to talk about manifesting. So first and foremost, I hope you had an amazing week. And it's a new moon on Thursday today as I am recording this. And it's a potent new moon because it's a new moon in Leo. And there's all these astrological things happening. I'm not an astrologer, but I do follow quite a few. And so I highly recommend doing some more research on this time we are in. It's a very potent energy. And everything is energy. And that's kind of wanted to talk about today. The power of manifestation. I believe that, I'm taking a course with Kathy Heller for this entire year, Abundance Mastery, and I'm learning so much about things that I already know but never quite integrated. At some point in my life, I did. And I started to journal more, really looking back at my life and the times I manifested, the times I created magic. I wanted to share that with you for two reasons. A, to realize how simple manifestation can be, and two, to give you some tools to apply immediately to manifest the things that you want. There are always things that seem to be easier than others, and I do believe it is because that's what our belief system is. But when I look back, the many times I really manifested things that I wanted so badly and got, and how it happened. So first off, when I was in New York, I was really getting into Nine Inch Nails, and I really loved Trent Reznor, his music. It just touched me so much. I was just like, I want to work with this guy. I need to meet him. So I found ways to meet him. I sent him flowers with a message and my tape. At the time, there was still a tape. So I sent him a message with the flowers, and guess what? He wrote me back. Long story short, we ended up actually meeting. He invited me into a studio. Back then he was in New Orleans. I got to meet Trent Reznor, and we got to talk a few times, and he gave me some really solid advice. And the biggest advice he gave me, which again is a lot of things that we know already, right? They're simple, but they're potent. And what he said to me was, don't ever release anything that doesn't resonate with you, that you don't really feel. And that kind of resonated with me in the sense that, of course, it makes sense. It's common sense. But oftentimes artists think that, oh God, I just got to release something, so this is good enough. Or I just got to release something, this will do. Or the label wanted me to do that. So when you're really in alignment, that helped me so much. But the bottom line is I got to hang out with him. I got to meet him. I got to see his studio. I got a whole studio tour, which was just so freaking amazing. But the point is, I got to meet him. I got to talk to him, and that is something I manifested. How did I manifest that? I got really creative, and it was never in a forceful way. When I look back at it, it was never like, I got to meet him, I need to, I have to. Yes, I wanted to. Part of me knew I will, because I knew that he had a message for me. He needed to be in my life, even just for a short period of time. I never got to work with him. And maybe that's why I messed up. But I got to meet him. I got some solid advice from him. I got to the tour. And it was because I felt it. I was really feeling it. I saw myself. I said, I need to meet him. I want to meet him. But it was never in there's a different energy when you need something and you feel the lack. You're so feeling the lack that it is almost frustrating. It's attacking your nervous system. You feel upset. You feel you're just angry even. You don't want to be in that place. But the bottom line is, whenever you drive, whenever you go for a walk, whenever you have a conversation with anyone, you're manifesting, because what you put out into the ether, into the universe, it's energy, and that energy comes back to us. So if I constantly complain, and I've been working on my money programming, to really open up that faucet, right? And I, for a long time, I was saying, I just have these blocks. And I realized the more I say that, the more they're going to be there. So we have to be really cautious about how we verbalize things, what we say, and especially not only what we say. Words are not really that meaningful unless you give them potent feeling. I know, for example, when I was teaching, I was giving voice lessons in Los Angeles, and I was teaching at a school, and I was also teaching at home. At some point, I felt I was teaching so much, I hardly had time for my music. So I said, oh my God, I have all these students. I never have time for me, for my own music, for doing my thing. And it lit me up teaching. I love teaching. I think teaching is one of the most gratifying, satisfying ways of earning money, earning a living, and growing yourself, because your students are the greatest teachers. So it's a very give and take, But when I stated that, when I made that statement, at least 4 or 5 students just like said, oh, I need a break. I can't afford it right now. Whatever happened. And I was like, whoa, what is going on? And why did it happen so quickly? Why did I manifest that so quickly? Because my emotion was attached to that. I felt it. I felt that I need time for me. I should have maybe verbalized it differently. Maybe I should have said, I want to make more money with less hours, or something like that. I want to be more productive, or have more impact with less time. That's why online courses, I think, are so great, because you don't have to be present. Because whenever we work for an hourly rate, or if we do one-on-ones, there's just so many hours you can work a day, a week, a month, right? And still have time for yourself. And there's a ceiling on how much you can earn. Anyway, so that was also a powerful manifestation that I did not mean to manifest. I didn't mean to manifest less money. I just wanted more time. So I should have been more precise with my words. The other time I manifested something really amazing and life-changing, really, was when I was with Otto's daughter, and we had a tour planned to go to New Orleans. It was like a 3-4 show little mini tour. And I said to my then former co-creator, H Gadget, Hamid, let's do this tour. And he said, well, we don't have a guitar player. We don't have a whole band. I said, I don't care. I want to play there. I'm going to play these shows. And if I have to go with a CD, at the time there were CDs, if I have to go with a CD with backing tracks, I will, because I'm going. I'm going alone or with a whole band. I don't care. And he was so concerned about that. So we put out an ad. Who hit us up? Jim and this other guy, Dan, I think, was also joining at the same time. But the bottom line is, he auditioned for us. I didn't even really like him at the time. I thought he was a great player, but he learned everything. And that was amazing. And then I thought he was too heavy, but Gadget said, give him another chance. This guy came so prepared. If you have ever been in a band, or people in a band, and they've ever told you about people auditioning, I can do a whole podcast on that, because some people just literally come in to the interview and just say, by the way, I rewrote this one part in the song because I think it would sound better. It's like, what? Are you serious? Like, how about you just respect my work first, come in, audition, learn the parts, and then if everything works out, then we can talk, right? Then we can like rewrite something, do a new version of it, whatever. But holy fuck, I was like, balls on some people. Or some people came in saying, oh, I didn't rehearse, but I'm pretty good at improvising. I'm like, don't you fucking ever waste my time again. Like, it was just a lot of horror stories and funny stories at the same time. But that's for another podcast. However, I manifested Jim, and I manifested a whole band, and we went to New Orleans, and we had a blast, and the shows went so well. And then Jim ended up being my long-time writing partner, and the person that I continued Otto's daughter with after Gadget left, and after we reformed the whole band. So that was another powerful manifestation. And again, it wasn't like me stressing out. I just said, I'm doing that. It was a full commitment, a full on in. a full on in. And when you fall in, there is no doubting anything. The reason why most of us have a hard time manifesting things is because A, we doubt that we can manifest that. B, we are impatient. We want things to happen right here, right now. And oftentimes when you are manifesting something, or you want to bring something into your reality, which we are shaping our reality every day, every minute of the day, you often want to see the full thing happening right away. But oftentimes it's the little signals and signs that you will see that let you know you're on the right track. But because you cannot see them, because you're so in this, I want this right here, right now, and it's not happening. Where is it? Why is it not here? See, I'm not worthy, and all this kind of stuff. It's a downward spiral, and I've been there many times, so I know how that feeling. But when you realize, for example, I've been working on my abundant mindset and attracting more money and more opportunities. And in my hypnosis sessions with this one woman who's amazing, she'll be on my podcast soon, also Penny, she was mentioning the color red. Whenever you see the color red, that's a sign that you're on the right track. It's money. Just like really think of that, right? So as I was getting my rental car in Berlin, it was red, and we were laughing. I'm like, oh no, a red car, really? And then a few days later, I realized, oh my God, I got a red car. That's a good sign. That's a little sign right there. Same when I got my new RV. It has a little cardinal on there. It's a red cardinal. I said, oh my God, that is amazing. That's another sign. So really be aware of those little signs that you often dismiss because you want to just see the full thing right here, right now. And it takes sometimes time. Sometimes we manifest immediately, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get into that energy flow. And I don't think it is necessarily that everything has to take more time. It's us not being fully in the energy, because at the end of the day, everything is energy. And when I go back and forth doubting things, that's like you going to the restaurant, ordering something and saying, actually, hold on, I changed my mind. What else you got on the menu? I want this. And then the waiter goes back and is about to get you that meal, and the chef is about to prepare the meal, and then you call the waiter back and you change your order again. So the many times you change your order, the longer it takes. And not that you're necessarily changing your mind on what you really want. Maybe you do, but also maybe you're going back and forth saying it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. I just know it's not. Who am I to like ask for that? Who am I to get that, right? Because everybody else has that, but I'm not. Why would you think you're not worthy when other people have what you have? That also brings me to the point of jealousy and envy, how you want to get rid of that. Why? It's a negative energy. And it's also, again, an energy of lack. Me seeing other people having what I want and feeling the pain, the jealousy, the why don't I have that? Why can't I have that, right? That's all like you telling yourself you can't have it. Instead, when I see someone who has the car I want, when someone has the life I want, the house I want, I say, wow, if they got it, it's possible. So it's possible for me. So change that also. Say if it's possible for them, it is definitely possible for me. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, right? So there is always a possibility. That is so potent and so powerful. The other thing I want to say is that what I manifested that changed my life. I remember when I was a kid, and I've talked about it many times, how I wanted to escape and get out of my town. I went to Hungary, and everybody was starting to escape, and we got turned back, and I was so sad. Also fear. I was fearing that and worried that I'm going to be stuck in East Germany for the rest of my life. And at the same time, when I came back home and I saw everybody escaping on TV via Prague, and I said to myself, I said, I got to find a way. I got to find a way. I need to be there. Why am I here? I need to be there. I felt the FOMO, right? Like I'm missing out on this opportunity to get out of here. And then my then boyfriend's dad said to us, I'm going to drive you to Berlin tomorrow, and you're going to get on the train and you're going to jump over the fence. I'm going to help you do that. Bam! because again, it was the emotion. Then there's no questioning what I really wanted. That's what I wanted. And it was not like, oh, I really want it, but I can't have it. I was like, I'm going to make this happen. I need to make this happen. So I'm reminding myself now of all the things I have been able to accomplish and to manifest when I really was 100%, 1000% certain that's what I wanted. There's no plan B. That was it. When I started my band, when I booked my tours, when I moved to LA, it was the same thing because people were saying, man, you should really go to LA. And I really didn't like LA. Not that I really knew much about it, but I heard a lot about it. And then I said, you know what? I should listen to everyone giving me this message, right? There's a difference between listening to people giving you opinions and telling you what to do when you feel like, no, that's not what you want to do. And also maybe putting an antenna up and saying, hey, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to see what's there. Why is everybody telling me this? Because that's another signal from the universe, right? Everybody, everything you see every day, there is like, whether it's a t-shirt, whether it's a poster, whether it's a sign on the street, whether it's the car in front of you and their license plate, there's always a message somewhere. Be really aware of that. And the more you get into manifesting, the more you will see this and be aware of it and be able to read it, right? To read the signs that the universe is guiding you. When I went to LA, I was like, let me just check it out. So we checked it out, and I was like, this is not that bad. And I had friends who like already told me they wanted to book shows with us. And so it was all just so in alignment. And I am so grateful now that I'm not in LA anymore. And not that I really miss Los Angeles, but I cherish and appreciate everything I was able to do when I was there, because the producers I worked with, Brian Karlstrom, Eric Rahn, there were like so many people that I got a chance to work with and learn from, being in the studio with top-notch producers, top-notch musicians, being able to network with all these events, meeting so many amazing collaborators that are now working with me on and off, and just being able to experience that. Because when you want to make a change, your nervous system will say, we don't like change. Change is scary because we like comfortable, we like familiar, right? But familiar and comfortable for me becomes extremely uncomfortable because I feel that I'm not growing. I feel that I'm not expanding. If you are in a place, in a house, in a town that you really love and you are really fulfilled and happy, well, then that's your calling. You're in the right spot at the right time. For me, when I feel like, oh my God, there's more out there, I need to explore more, then I question, am I just running away from something that I don't want to face? Because I now know that the reason why I've been doing the RV life, that I've always wanted to move on, is because I never felt home in my own home. When I was growing up, I wanted to get out of there. Not because my town sucked. Well, my town was really small, still is, and there's not much going on. But also because of the situation with my parents. So they were always fighting and stuff. So I never felt home in my home. So now I think my entire lifetime I've been searching for my home, and I do love exploring. So I don't think it's me running away anymore, which for a long time I questioned that. But I think it's just me having this. I'm like, my life, I feel I am the fool card, right? I'm always like, just like, okay, what's next? Where are we going now? Because I just love to explore, and there's nothing wrong with it. So embrace and honor your calling, because a lot of times we feel that there's something wrong with us. If I don't want what everybody else wants, if I'm not satisfied with what everyone else is satisfied with, well, there must be something wrong with me, right? Maybe it's all trauma. And if you remember my previous episode from last week, my solo episode, I was in so much pain. I was in so much trauma state, like recalling so much trauma from my childhood, that I was walking around, not even that long ago, a few days ago, I was having a lot of arguments with my mom. I walked through my town thinking, I'm never going to come back here. I am so done with all of this. And I realized it was just me letting go, being angry, letting all this out, releasing it. Because when you hold on to your trauma, you're holding on to your pain, you're holding on to your past. But we are not our past. Our past emotions are not our emotions anymore. They belong in the past. They belong to the old version of you. So I encourage you, use the power of manifestation, and it doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to come from the energy you are putting out. You might say, well, it's easy to say when I'm in this situation where everything sucks. You know what? That's okay. Dance, sing, move your body, Kundalini yoga. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I am available. This is my calling, and this is what I will be doing. Today, it's becoming so clear to me what I want to do. I am doing my music. I want to help people find their spark again. And how do you find your spark again? By just really allowing yourself to dream up the things that light you up. And sometimes we forget. And that's why I love the decluttering. And that's also part of my program, where when you start to declutter, not just your house, your home, but your mind, your body, right? All the crap that is inside of you, somewhere deep hidden inside, because trauma gets stored in our bodies. And when you allow yourself, through movement, through mantra, through dreaming up, through journaling, it will come out. It will come out. You're finally releasing it and allowing yourself to be in the new version of yourself, in the new reality that you've created. So manifestation is so powerful, and it does not have to be complicated. It just has to be a slow process for some and a fast process for many. Tony Robbins always talked about that. Real change happens when oftentimes we don't want to leave that relationship. We don't want to leave that town because we've been so conditioned to think, if I'm leaving this person, oh my God, what am I going to do without them? Then there's some money missing because they're contributing. Or if I leave this apartment, well, how am I going to find something new that's affordable? You know what I mean? It's all these, just when you hear me talking about this, it's like all these negative, what amazing possibilities could open up if I left this relationship I am just not happy in? What amazing opportunities could happen to me if I just left this place I'm in and start over someplace new? How many amazing adventures could happen? New people that I could invite into my life if I would just let go of that and allow myself to be open to the newness, to new possibilities, to new adventures, to the new version of me that allows herself to dream, that allows herself to make change. And when Tony Robbins said, and sometimes when we don't make these changes, eventually they happen. The person will break up with you. Your lease is terminated, or they just sold the house, the place, whatever, and you need to go. There's always something that the universe will, it's the Tower card, where everything is going to be chaos, and out of chaos comes order, right? But if you are not taking action, you prolong your pain, but eventually the universe says, all right, you're not doing anything. I'm going to help you. I'm going to make it happen now, because you need to change. And our nervous system, as I said, is not always happy with change. It never is happy with change. You might feel anxiety. You might feel worry, stress, fear, even anger and frustration, because you feel like you don't know what to do, but our answers are always within ourselves. So if you can switch that energy to, what am I going to do? And oh my God, I'm worried about that, to, I'm going to just trust. I'm going to trust the process, because what is the most important thing in our lives? Being happy, feeling joy, feeling fulfilled, and feeling like we have a calling. And you may not necessarily know right now what exactly your calling is, but you know if you are unhappy or not. And if you are unhappy, make the change, make a little change. And how can you calm your nervous system? By doing yoga, by doing movement. You're moving the energy in your body, by finding a community that can assist you, that can help you, that can let you know you're not alone. Most of us are depressed. Most of us have a traumatic childhood. Most of us go through, money issues. Most of us go through relationship issues. It's not a weird thing, or that you are so different, or you're a loser, or your life just sucks. It's part of life. Life always gives us challenges. It's our responsibility to take these challenges and even the pain as an opportunity, as a doorway to say, okay, what else is here? Where else can I go from here? So with that said, manifesting, go manifest your life. And here's what I would love for you to do if you're interested. Journal. I want you to journal, and I want you to write out, what are the things that bring me joy? And it could be, for me, because when somebody asks me that and I'm thinking, well, how is that going to make me money, right? Boom, right? It goes right there. Nobody asked you how to make money. We were just asking, what brings you joy? So what brings you joy? For me, it's walking out in nature, playing with my dog, going for adventures, road tripping, singing, producing music, helping others. Kundalini yoga is my church. I just love it so much. It brings me so much joy. I want to make time for that. I almost said I need to make time for that. Why? It makes me feel good. So what lights you up? Write at least 10 things that light you up. Next, write at least 5 things. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grow up? What did you want to be? And why? Why did you want to be a hairdresser? Why did you want to be a fireman? Why did you want to be a singer, right? Write that down, why. Then, the next chapter, I want you to, what would my life look like if I could have anything I want? No limitations, anything. What would I wear? How would I talk? Who would my friends be? Where would I hang out? What would I do? What would I be doing? And you might say, I don't really want to work. Well, then write that down. I don't really want to work. I want to make money, but I don't want to work for it. When you do your life's work, it's not really work. And when you figure out your life's work, that's when everything falls into place. And again, give yourself patience, give yourself grace, and give yourself permission to not analyze. Do not think about, oh, this could not happen because I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm blah, blah, blah. No, let it go, because this is something you can figure out later. And then read it all again and really see how you feel, your energy. And when you're in that energy, get out of the house, go for a walk, and feel and live in that energy. Live, breathe, embrace that energy. And then write a little affirmation. The affirmation could be, I'm stepping into my new era where everything feels like joy. Everything feels like an adventure. Everything feels so in alignment. I feel I'm finally me again. I feel lit up again. I feel inspired. I feel creative. I feel electric. It may take a little bit of time. And if you are really in a state where you're so low that you cannot even go from here, it's really hard to go from here to here, right? But at least maybe you can get to neutral. You can get to the point where you're at least not feeling this pain, not this resistance. The last thing I want you to do is I want you to let go of resentment, to let go of grudges. Forgive. Forgive others, even yourself. Most importantly, yourself. Forgiveness is not about letting others get away with what they've done to you. Forgiveness is about giving yourself back the joy, the happiness, the calmness, the life that you deserve. Because when we hold on to grudges, there is a piece of anger stuck in your body that is always there. The minute you think of that person, you think how they stole your money or how they betrayed you, how they cheated on you, how they lied about you, whatever the case is. Let it go. Let it go. It's not your problem. It is their programs. It's their issues that they haven't dealt with. And you are just a person that happened to be there for them to take it out on you. So let that go, because grudges, it's like eating poison, expecting someone else to die. Resentment, same thing. They may not even know what they've done to you. Maybe there was really a subtle thing that really ticks you and you can't let it go. Write them a letter, burn the letter. You don't have to send the letter to them. If you want to, send it to them, but let it go. Make peace with it, because, and that's what I've kind of done here, I just let certain things go. I'm like, this is no longer my life. This is no longer me. I don't need to hold on to any of this. And I also don't have to accept certain people's way of talking to me, or the way they see me has nothing to do with me. And so with my mom, for example, the little things we had, I'm realizing she's just a completely different person than me. The way she sometimes talks or operates has nothing to do with me, but everything to do with her own pain, her own trauma, and her life. And there's nothing wrong with it. Not everybody has to like the same things. Not everybody has to get everything you think, you do, you want. It's between you and you. So I hope this episode helped, and I hope you take the time to dive deep and even vision board. I'm going to do a vision board party when I'm back in, I almost said LA, when I'm back in Michigan. Sometimes I don't even know where I am because I've lived so many chapters, but I embraced all of them. And I'm looking forward to the next chapter. I love Michigan, and I'm realizing being here now and how grateful I am to be living in a place where I have the view of the lake, where I have so much peace and serenity and time to really go within and explore nature, which I love so much. But I also, part of me also misses the city. So I want to be in a place where I maybe can be closer to where there's a lot of action going on, where I can go and maybe find more collaborators, do what I really want to do. I'm going deep today too, because it is the new moon, and I want to dive deep in to really figure out what is my next chapter, because I've lived so many and I have no problem starting over. And my nervous system will also be out of whack a little bit, and I will be doing a lot of Kundalini yoga to realign my nervous system, to balance my nervous system. And if you are interested in working with me, like I said, I will be doing one-on-one Kundalini sessions, and I will also do a declutter program. Besides I do have a Kundalini crash course available on my website, pinkstarmusic.com. And I also have a mini declutter course available, but I will hold one in person live with you. And then I also have a program that I'm working on right now that you can join, where you will declutter your life, your mind, your body, and really bring back that light inside of you, the spark inside of you that will allow you to live the life you deserve, which is your bliss. I will be back next Friday. I want to commit. That's one of the things I definitely want to do. I want to commit to myself. I've been really abandoning myself, and makes sense, right? Because why would I abandon anyone else? Because I love being responsible, but I want to really bring back honoring my needs and my wishes and my dreams, and not allowing myself to go down the rabbit hole where I think it's too late. That chapter is done, that opportunity is gone. Because when you really, what I felt in New York City when I played the show, I was so lit up, and I know that the audience loved it. So I know this is my calling. I know that I'm going to be doing that. What shape and form, I don't really know yet, but I'm putting it out there. I really encourage you to go limitless, to go unapologetically full in on what your dreams and goals are, and allow yourself the time, the patience, and the process. Allow yourself every day when you wake up, the first thing you want to do is just really focus on that. Don't let anything and anyone else in first. You go within. You go within and you thank the universe for being awake. You might say, you know what? I don't know what I want anymore. My life is just so overwhelming. I don't know, everything is just such a burden. And just instead say, but I thank you for the opportunity to acknowledge that. And today I will do one thing that lights me up. I will do one thing that brings me joy. Because when I'm in that state, in that energy, more amazing things come to me. And you will see that every day will get easier to get up and to feel lit up and to feel positive and find the community. Speaking of community, go to Her Gypsy Rebel on Facebook and join. But in the show notes, everything will be there, and you can just join there and be part of the community. I will be more active. This is really my activation to come back. Like I said, my birthday episode, I'm rebirthing, and I'm giving myself permission to not rush, to just give myself time to let everything fall into place. But I don't need to wait for everything to be perfect. I just need to start. And I want you to do the same thing, one day at a time, one step at a time. So much love. Thank you for listening. And I hope this helped. And there was a part or many parts or all of it that really spoke to you and helped you come back to what you needed to hear and where you want to go. And I will look forward to having you next week, next Friday, Venus Day. Until then, much love. Always make every day a great day and follow your bliss. Subscribe to the podcast, share it with anyone who can benefit from this, and I will see you in the next one. Also, take advantage of my special with my shawls. They are beautiful, and you're also supporting my art and my podcast when you support me in any way, shape, and form that also benefits you. Much love. Take care. Oh, 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 oh.